Hey guys, it's Nikki. This is my submission for the top 20 challenge, which was Machinist. I hope you guys really enjoyed this look because it took me a crap ton of time to complete, and I like the way it turned out. I'm pretty proud of it. If you guys do like this look and feel like it's worthy of the top 12, and if you'd like to see me continue in this competition, please head over to faceawards.com. You can vote up to 3 times a day per email, so if you have more emails, it's more vote today, and vote for the real Mystique. And let's see how far we can get in this competition. So without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. I'm first starting with the Vichy Mineral 89 Skin Fortifying Daily Booster. This just hydrates and plumps the skin to prepare it for the onslaught of makeup. I'm then using the Jumbo Stick Pencil in Milk, and I'm just using this to do a rough outline of the whole look. So I'm drawing the outline of the gears, the pipe going down the center of my nose, and all the little intricate mechanical pieces that are going to be on my cheeks. And of course, it's crucial to every makeup look to have a little dance break. Don't forget that part. I then took the NYX SFX cream color in silver and just applied that all over the open space around my eye and along the chin area I drew out earlier. Next, I'm picking up that center gray color from the Gloomy Days Perfect Filter palette, and I'm just contouring all around the edges of that metal plating I drew down, around the temples, and also around the brow bone of the metal plating. Using the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Sparkle Nude, I'm just filling in the center of that gear there. I'm also using this pencil to draw on the teeth of the gear, one at a time opposite each other so that they stay symmetrical. Using the shadow Bare It All and a small craft brush, I'm just going all along the outside of the gear to create definition on those teeth. Using the same shadow and the same brush, I'm just shading the outer third of every tooth, and this just gives it a more three-dimensional look so it doesn't look so 2D. I'm also using that same shadow to create grooves and detail to the center of the gear. Next is the NYX eyeliner in Pure White to highlight each tooth and also on the center of the gear. Using NYX Away We Glow in Untamed, I'm just filling in that center pipe on my nose, and using the NYX Suede pencil in Los Angeles to create these details on the pipe. I'm basically making one square big, one square small, and going all the way down my nose with that pattern. With the Suede lip liner in Alien and the Jumbo Stick Pencil in White, I'm just contouring all the sides of the pipe down there and using the Jumbo Stick Pencil to highlight the center of the nose. As you can see, I'm making it a lot darker right where that plate hits the nose to make it look like it's on top of the pipe. Using the shadow stripped and a small dome brush, I'm just blending out those pencil shadows we placed to make it look a little bit more realistic. With the jumbo pencil in milk, I'm creating this tubing on my forehead and using the strip shadow to shade on the edges. You want to create bigger shadows near the gear so it looks like the gear is on top. And then I'm just using the same strip shadow and just filling in the negative space around the objects I just did. Next, I'm using That's the Point liner in Hella Fine, and I'm creating these curves down each one of the tubes and just outlining them as well. While I have that liner in hand, I'm just going around the whole gear that we drew earlier, just to give it some more definition so it sticks out against that pipe down the center of the nose. Now, using my best friend, the liquid liner in white, I'm going to highlight all of these things. So creating lines down the center of those tubes, on the metal plating, and also on the teeth of that gear. We're also going to take this down the center of the pipe on the nose. I'm highlighting the ridges of the pipe where the light would naturally hit it. Going back with That's the Point in Hella Fine, I am creating some more shadows. This whole thing is about creating as much dimension as you can to make this look three-dimensional. So I'm really building it up under that metal plating to look like it's sticking out, as well as the gear. And while I have that in hand, I'm just creating bolts on the edges of this metal plating as well. Okay, using the jumbo pencil in pure gold, I'm just filling in this cog on the bottom, leaving that little triangle on the top and a little half circle on the bottom. And I'm just outlining the same way we did on the top cog, so I won't repeat myself. Back with the suede liner in Alien, I'm trying to make this triangle look like my lips are kind of on two separate gears, so that gear is kind of turning. So I'm just outlining the two sets of my lips there and just shading them in, kind of like an ombre style, so that they look cohesive and that they fit together. Using the Perfect Filter Olive View palette, I'm using that gold color and just packing it all over the gold we already placed down in this cog. And this is just going to set it so it doesn't smudge around. I'm also using it to create these spokes in that open spot. Using the Soft Matte Metallic Lip Cream in Madrid, I'm filling in my real lips and also my fake lips. And on my fake lips, I'm using the eyeshadow stripped to really contour the edges of it to make it look more three-dimensional, so it really pops out like my real lips. Going back in with the That's the Point in Hella Fine, again just outlining this cog. It's really just the same thing we did on the top, except I'm filling in these negative spaces that we have on this cog. And I'm just bringing the liner all around the edges and creating these little dots as well, just as detail. Also off camera, I'm going to fill in my other cog gold so that you don't have to see me go over the same process again. Back to Away We Glow in Untamed, I'm just using it to fill in this little gear here and using stripped all around it to make it look like it's really set back in my face there. Oh look, That's the Point in Hella Fine again, and I'm using this to create this little kind of spiky gear at the bottom, and filling in again the negative space around it between the gears. Then back with our good pal white liquid liner to highlight this little cog in all the spikes that we just did. And while I have the white liner in hand, I'm just going to highlight again the teeth of all the gears here that we created, just like we did around the eye. Back with the eyeshadow in stripped, I'm just really trying to make this cog look like it's set back around the metal plating, so I'm just building that up right around the edge and right under the white highlight. I'm using Away We Glow in Untamed to fill in the light bulb, and also the SFX cream color in silver to fill in the base. So this was the light bulb I created. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole look. I used the stripped color all around the base of the light bulb, around the socket area. And this, again, just made it look more three-dimensional. The trick with creating glass objects is to really build up the dark shadows next to the light shadows. And it can't be so much of a gradient effect as it is more of a really harsh contrast next to each other. So I'm building up the dark shadows around the edges and also splotching it in the middle there. And then taking the white liner and making a more diffused gradient white highlight down the center of the light bulb. And also on the sides of the socket there. And then we're taking the white liner and creating a much more harsh white highlight. And this is what really creates that glass texture look. So I'm taking it all along the edges and also right in where I created the diffused white. So this section I won't go into too much detail because we already did it on the forehead. I'm just doing that same kind of gear that we did next to the nose, and also the tubing that I created on the forehead as well. So you guys know the drill. It's just white tubing with the shading on the edges and the curves down the center. And I'm just outlining it in the hella fine, surprise surprise, and creating a little bit of detail on that gear there. I also created a little gear on the bottom and a little one on the top. Going with the black bean jumbo pencil, I'm just filling in the negative space between all the objects. Back with the eyeshadow and stripped, you guys know the drill. I'm just shading all around this metal plating to really make these objects look like they're set back into my face. And then using the white highlight, obviously, on all the little tips. And dance break! Don't forget this step, guys. It seriously is crucial. It also doesn't hurt to have a cute man around when you're doing your makeup. Okay, back to business. Using the red color in the Olive View Perfect Filter palette, I'm building out a wing in my crease and blowing it out, and then using the Gloomy Days palette with the black and deepening up that crease in the outer V and also in the center. With the cream eyeliner in Frost is so beautiful. I'm creating this cut crease all over the lid and winging it out. Back with the suede pencil in Alien, I'm just blowing out my waterline and really kind of diffusing it down. Back with the cream color in Silver, I'm starting off with that pipe on the left side of my face and also using hella fine to create these little C shapes on the pipe, and this will kind of be like the brackets. So they look like little donuts that go around the pipe. And then just outlining the center of the pipe there as well. I'm going in with the strip shadow to shade the center of the pipe and just add a little bit of shading on those brackets. And back in with the white liquid liner to highlight the brackets. This next part is more of the same, so I'll spare you. We're just drawing more of the tubing again. Using the liquid liner, I'm creating these L shapes on all the teeth so it looks like you can see the sides of them, making it look more three-dimensional. Back with the jumbo stick and milk, we're moving down to the neck and I'm creating this spring, and also using the black bean jumbo stick to fill in roughly around the spring for now. This is the bane of my existence. I created an actual heart with actual moving gears, but once I latexed it on, the latex glued the gears in place, and I hate my life. Pretend you're not seeing it. Using the suede liner in Los Angeles, I'm creating like an anatomical heart. So I'm building up the arteries that come out the top of the heart and the aorta and all that business. Just doing a rough outline, and then I'm filling it in with the Away We Glow in Untamed. Picking up the eyeshadow and stripped again, I'm just outlining all of the arteries and aorta that we made on the top of the heart. When you're creating these shadows, the shadow should really be more harsh around the edge and then diffuse more towards the middle of the vein, and this gives it a more cylindrical look. Taking the liquid liner again, I'm going back to the spring, and I'm just creating more of the detail to make it look like is an actual three-dimensional spring. So the front of the spring should be coming over the back of the spring, of course, so I'm just creating those lines and cleaning it up a little bit. Then I'm going back in the Gloomy Days Perfect Filter palette and picking up that black and just packing it over the black liquid liner we just placed to really give it a deep dark black look. Back with the white liquid liner, you want to put this liner on all of the sides of the springs that are coming towards you, so it really gives the eye the illusion that some of these springs are coming forward and then the ones that are in the back are kind of sinking back into the neck. And then I just took some shadows and shaded the ones that are supposed to be underneath that metal, if that makes sense. Back with that silver cream color, I'm just filling this in all along the sides of my neck and a little bit down my décolleté as well to give that metal plating look like we did on the face. And then I'm using the liquid liner to outline the metal plating. Just as we did on the metal plating on the face, I'm just shading around the border of all the metal plating and around the heart. This is the part where I realized the gears were glued in place and was no longer functioning, and I hated my life. But what are you gonna do? Just gotta roll with the punches. So instead, I'm taking the Away We Glow in Untamed again, I'm filling it in. I still really liked the idea of a heart on my chest, So again, I'm just using this stripped and shading in all of the areas of the anatomical heart, just like I did on the top part. I'm using the liquid liner to create these kind of veins and to create these veins that go down the center of the heart. And in the end, I think I kind of liked this look better than the gears looked anyway, so maybe it was for the best. Okay, it is wig time. Just putting on my hairnet and my wig and my goggles. Now moving on to the chest piece, I'm not going to explain this too much in detail because it's really just the same shapes and objects we drew on the face. So we're just going to kind of vaguely talk through what I'm doing here, just drawing the gears around the hearts, the tubing as we did on the face, and also the pipes like we did on the face as well. I'm also drawing another light bulb coming out of my shoulder, just like the one on the face. And we're shading these in just the same way, no different. Taking the shading around the gears, again we want to make it look like some gears are in front of the other ones, so throw more shade on the bottom ones. Yeah, throw shade. I'm using the liquid liner to make the shading a little bit deeper in the areas where I need it to. Over to the tubing, again just the same way we did on the face, creating the shadows down the pipes and also going in with the white highlights. It's very hard to draw with your right hand in your right armpit if you didn't know. I'm just continuing to outline all these objects and just fill in the negative space with the liquid liner. I took the Worth the Hype mascara on my lashes and you can see I have contacts in now as well. And also took the Fatale? I don't know. Sorry that clip is janky, I used them before I took the clip. And I put these lashes on and coated them with the mascara. And the last step was to take the silver cream paint and just fill in those silver panels on my shoulders. And that is it, guys. Whew! That was a long one. That was a lot of work, but I think it's totally worth it. I liked the end result a lot, actually. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to go to faceawards.com and cast your 3 votes per email per day. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. All of the information for how to vote will be in the description bar below, so don't forget to check that out. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next challenge. Thanks guys. See ya.